You see, sometimes you don't want to get out and use an expensive or complex SLR and carry it along. This is pocket size and you always have a camera at hand. Hi everyone, today the miss wanted me to go to the city and I bought this. It's a Lomography Simple Use Reloadable film camera. Analog madness at your disposal. Well, analog ain't madness, digital is, but anyway. They say it's a reloadable camera and they have some instructions on it, so let's crack the box open. And there we are. Okay, so we have this instruction leaflet, which I'm not gonna read obviously, because they say reloadable here is how. I'm sorry guys, I don't speak square, but you know, I'm not gonna need this just for a simple reason. If you look at the camera, you can see some, well, resemblance with a disposable camera. You see, back in my use for concert photography, I needed higher ISO film, and 800 ISO films, like Ekta Press or the Fuji Press, were pretty expensive. But disposable cameras were preloaded with 800 ISO film, so I was buying them, removing the film, and I ended up with an 800 ISO film with 39 exposures. And that was pretty easy for me to put this film inside my camera and shoot it and get it processed. So on this camera you have this label, you have to cut it with a knife. You have this latch to open the back of the camera. You have this rewind symbol here that allows you to wind up the film, not rewind, and a rewind crank. You see, when you have a normal camera like this one, it goes on like this. You insert the film, you take the shot, and each time you take the shot, the film advances. When your film is finished, you rewind it to put another one inside. These cameras are a little bit different. The film is totally wound up in the camera body, and each time you take a shot, it rewinds itself, slowly but surely, and as soon as you reach the last frame on this film, well, it's already in the canister. Saves you one operation. I used to process these a lot when I was working at a photography shop. So here's how you do. Well, first you can see that the frame counter tells me there is 36 exposure. The film is totally wound up in the camera. So I'm generally putting it under my coat or something like this, taking care of not exposing the film, and I press the shutter and wind up the film. And I'm gonna do this 36 times.
A few moments later.
Now we're gonna open up this camera. So you have this notch here, and okay, it's pretty sticky. Maybe gonna need to cut it open, yeah, a little bit more. And there we are. Oh, okay, this is the film. Obviously the film here is totally wound up inside the canister. I'm going to use a film picker to get it open. So if you don't know how to use one, there's a video, and if you don't have one, get one. It's on my bucket list. Anyway, I'm going to load this camera with Ilford 400 ISO film, which I got here. I won't be using Delta or T-Max or anything like this. A basic 400 ISO film is gonna be just fine, because these cameras, they rely on exposure latitude. Okay, so since I'm biting up my nails, I'm gonna use my knife to get the... Okay. How do you do that? Okay, there we are. So this winding crank is going to be used to wind up the film in the camera. You can see here there's this plastic teeth that's gonna grab onto the film. It's pretty easy, easier than what you think. So just a matter of inserting the film until it fits right on the top. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the leader just a little, and look at that. It's already binding. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna close the camera. See? There we are. And there we are. The film counter is now back at 36. The film is fully wound up, and there we have it. Well, now the crank doesn't want to stay in place. Oh, yes, now it will. I have to admit, it was not very easy to do. It was very stiff. I had to do it multiple times because my fingers were slipping off the crank. And let's face it, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a very sturdy plastic here, so I was being careful not to break anything, honestly. Yeah, so the camera is now ready to be used with black and white film. That's a good thing, if you ask me. Now that this camera is fully loaded with 400 ISO black and white film, I'm gonna shoot it and show you the results in a follow-up video. Using this camera is pretty easy. You have these color filters that will modify the light source coming from the flash. Obviously, we won't use these with black and white film, only with color. You have this flash button if you want to activate the flash, and it's literally point and shoot. That's what it is. Disposable camera that is not disposable, reusable, simple camera. You see, sometimes you don't want to get out and use an expensive or complex SLR and carry it along. This is pocket size, and you always have a camera at hand. Image quality is going to be what we would expect from a disposable single-use camera, which this camera is based on. I paid like 20 bucks for the camera with the color film, so it makes the camera at around 15 bucks if you remove the value of the film that was already inside. Not very expensive if you ask me, but well, quality-wise, it's far from being an icon, let's be honest, but these cameras are also pretty inconspicuous. You see, if you are doing street photography with something like this, people won't mind. You see, when you have a DSLR or even an SLR, they think, well, this is the photographer, maybe a journalist, what is he doing? What's this one? People won't mind. So it's pretty inconspicuous. You can grab it almost everywhere and bring back photos. So yeah, I think this is already a good idea to begin with. Not sure about the results, but we will see in the upcoming video. Because that's all I got for you today. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment down below. And as always, goodbye.